you found a $480 flight. You thought you were done. But by the time you checked out, it was $612. Same plane, same seat, same destination. In 2010, airlines earned roughly 5% of their revenue from ancillary products, things like baggage, seat selection, and add-ons. In 2026, for some carriers, that number is approaching 50%. Airlines didn't just raise ticket prices, they unbundled them. And the base fare, that's no longer the real price. Today, we break down the 7 airline fees that quietly expanded this year and how to avoid paying for things that used to be included. Because modern air travel isn't about the ticket, it's about the checkout page. Most travelers still believe seat selection is optional. Technically, it is. Strategically, it isn't. Airlines learned something powerful. People don't pay for comfort. They pay to avoid discomfort. Instead of selling better seats, airlines withhold neutrality. Decline to pay, you're often assigned what's left. But here's where it gets more sophisticated. Seat maps reflect inventory strategy, not necessarily final cabin occupancy. The layout you see isn't a live passenger map, it's a revenue tool. Some seats may appear blocked because they're held for operational flexibility, elite passengers, or pricing optimization. That visual scarcity influences behavior. If only 2 aisle seats appear available, you're far more likely to pay immediately. Now, add dynamic pricing. An aisle seat might cost $19 on a Tuesday, $47 on a Friday. Same aircraft, same row. Ancillary products now use yield management models just like base fares. Seats are no longer features, they are micro-products. How to beat it? Open the seat map before completing payment. Compare seat pricing across nearby dates. Recheck pricing 24 to 48 hours before departure. Understand aircraft layout differences. You don't find this emotionally, you anticipate it. There's another layer behind this. It's called drip pricing. You select your flight, enter your name, add passport details, confirm your email. You've invested time. At that stage, adding $20 or $30 feels smaller than it would have at the beginning of the booking process. Behavioral economics shows that once effort has been invested, willingness to accept incremental add-ons rises significantly. Airlines understand this. They don't present the full total up front because visible high totals reduce conversion rates. Instead, costs appear step by step. Individually manageable, collectively expensive. Cheap isn't cheap anymore, it's modular. And that's exactly why I never look at base fares in isolation. When I search for flights, I compare full routing combinations, not just airline websites. Sometimes, a mixed carrier option or a slightly different connection saves more than any seat fee ever could. That's why I use Kiwi to compare total routing combinations and see real price breakdowns before committing. In a modular pricing world, comparison is leverage. If you want to test it yourself, the link is in the description. Because in 2026, transparency keeps the final price closer to the first number you saw. Basic Economy advertises fares from $129. But what's included? In 2026, many carriers provide one personal item, no standard carry-on, last boarding group. The carry-on fee appears later. $35 online, $65 at the gate. The pricing gap is intentional. Airlines want early digital purchase. They want smoother boarding. They want fewer airport staff. Gate penalties are behavioral conditioning. The cheap fare works because the comparison happens before the add-ons, not after. How to beat it? Compare total cost before choosing fare class. Check baggage rules carefully. Sometimes standard economy is cheaper than basic plus add-ons. Cheap isn't cheap anymore, it's modular. Fuel prices fluctuate, fuel surcharges don't. You'll see it labeled as Carrier Imposed Surcharge, YQ, YR. On award tickets especially, this is where airlines recover margin. Example, 60,000 miles, $480 in taxes and fees. Government taxes may be under $100. The rest, airline imposed. They no longer call it fuel because it isn't directly tied to fuel. It's revenue architecture embedded inside pricing. It's less visible than raising the base fare, but just as powerful. How to beat it? Compare partner redemptions across alliances. Some programs impose lower surcharges. Always compare miles plus fees against cash price. Miles now require math, not loyalty. Upgrades used to be predictable. Now they're personalized. In 2026, airlines increasingly use behavioral data to tailor upgrade offers. Your historical purchase behavior matters. If the system learns that you tend to accept upgrades below a certain threshold, future offers may reflect that. Two passengers on the same flight can see two different upgrade prices. Based on route demand, cabin load factors, status tier, historical purchasing patterns, upgrade offers are no longer generic, they're calibrated. Airlines don't just optimize cabins, they optimize individuals. How to beat it? Don't accept the first offer automatically. Monitor upgrade prices over time. Compare in-app offers with airport gate pricing. Understand route-specific upgrade patterns. Timing beats impulse. Some carriers now charge $25 to $40 for airport check-in. Not because printing a boarding pass is expensive, but because staff encounters is. By penalizing in-person check-in, airlines shift passengers toward app check-in, self-service kiosks, reduced staffing models. If you arrive unprepared, you pay. The airport no longer absorbs inefficiency, it monetizes it. And this is where digital readiness becomes part of travel strategy. If your boarding pass doesn't load because you have no signal, if your airline app won't refresh at the gate, you lose leverage. In 2026, being connected isn't convenience, it's control. Airlines operate in fully digital ecosystems now. When I book flights or access airline accounts on public Wi-Fi, I use NordVPN to encrypt the connection and prevent session hijacking. Public networks are one of the easiest environments for payment data exposure. A secure connection isn't paranoia, it's basic digital hygiene. If you want to use the same setup, the link is in the description. Preparation doesn't just save money, it protects it. How to beat it? Always check in online. Save boarding pass to wallet. Screenshot QR code. Archive digitally ready. Preparation eliminates penalties. Miles are earning less. Awards cost more. Dynamic pricing dominates. A flight that cost 60,000 miles last year may cost 90,000 today. Same route, same aircraft, miles are no longer a currency. They are variable discount tokens. Airlines today are no longer just transportation companies. They are financial institutions that happen to fly airplanes. In many cases, the valuation of their loyalty program exceeds the valuation of their aircraft fleets. That's not opinion. That's balance sheet reality in 2026. Loyalty programs generate billions through co-branded credit cards and point sales. Flying is capital intensive. Miles are margin rich. When revenue pressure rises, loyalty programs are adjusted first. Quietly, not loudly. How to beat it? Redeem strategically. Avoid hoarding miles long term. Compare fixed partner charts where possible. calculate cents per mile before confirming. Loyalty now requires vigilance. The base fare is the bait. The checkout page is the reality. Airlines don't aggressively raise visible ticket prices. They unbundle, they personalize, they test, they monetize friction. If you compare total cost, not base fare, protect your booking environment, anticipate dynamic behavior, and treat loyalty as a financial product, you stop reacting, you start anticipating. And in modern air travel, anticipation is cheaper than regret. And this is exactly why understanding airline strategy matters more than ever. If you want clear, no-hype breakdowns on how airlines price, board, and monetize modern travel, subscribe and follow the channel. Because the rules aren't getting simpler, they're getting smarter. And next, you should watch the video on the new TSA rules for 2026. Security policies are tightening again, and some everyday items are now triggering fines and confiscations at the checkpoint. The video is linked on screen and in the description. Watch that next, because beating airline pricing doesn't matter if you never make it past security.